Hey guys, I got the day off, luckily, so I decided to take all the parts off of my Bosun's chair. This is the board that I use at work, and this is the side I actually sit on, but I've got the straps pulled around and I've sanded the bottom with 120 grit. And I was going to stain it after that, but the edges were still rough, and if you stain it with 120 grit, it holds more stain. It's a darker color, so I went with a 220. I went from 120 to knock off the big stuff to a 220. That way it'll show more of the grain in this wood. Not really sure what it is. It's probably just a cheap plyboard or something like that, but it's a bunch of sheets pressed together. So now I'm going to start staining. I've got the Minwax wood finish, early American 230. So I'm using just a regular sponge brush, and I'm going to stain the bottom side so that whenever you look up and you see my board, it'll be nice and clean looking, instead of the rotted wood that was up here, and I knocked all that off. So it's still stained pretty bad because I did draw on it about 2 years ago. I started drawing on it. But now I'm just going to go with the cool stain and see how that turns out. But when you sand, you kind of want to go with the grain, not so much on the first, like the 220. You're just knocking off the big stuff. But when you're hitting it with the with the 120, you don't really need to worry about it. But when you get to the higher grit sandpaper, you want to use go with the grain. And I don't know why, but the grain moves this way, and all the stress is created in the center. When on skateboards, the grain moves this way. So I don't understand the logic behind that. Maybe they were just able to make more of them, I'm not sure. But this is the same chair I've had since I started this job 2.5 years ago, I believe. And hopefully my guys don't see this video before I get to show them. I want them to be surprised. I'm probably just going to do just one coat, but it may turn into 2 coats, just depends. And that is looking really cool. So I'm going to do the bottom and I'm going to do the sides, but I haven't sanded the top side where I sit, because I'm not really familiar with this process right here, and I'm not sure if it'll stain my pants, and I don't want that. So but I used a Ryobi orbital sander. I've had it for years. I wasn't even sure if it'd work anymore. I bought it when I was doing construction after high school, and I haven't used it in 10 years. It still works really good. So this looks really cool. Also, I made sure to hit the edges and the sides with the 220 so that I can get a consistent color all the way around. I really don't know what I'm doing. Alright, so I'm not sure if you guys can really see this or not, so I'm going to show you real quick. That looks really cool. It's probably not going to dry with that glossy finish. I might have to put some, I I guess it's polyurethane or something that people use. I'm not sure, but I think that looks really cool. And I might actually go back in and write some stuff with my Dremel and then stain it again. That will give it a dark impression of whatever I draw or write. That's it for today. I'm messing with this thing, and I gotta put it all back together. I'm not gonna show you guys any of that stuff. It's just, it'll be boring and fast. So I did get my 4x8 sheet of birch, which I have another project to start on it. I don't want to share that with anybody yet because it's still an idea in the making. And actually that's the whole reason that my brother loaned me this scroll saw. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Also, I finished the wall behind me. I put up the 2 sheets of plyboard. Originally I had it just going across the bottom, and I was going to have to put another sheet up on top, but it would have left this huge seam right through the center. And I actually have a plan with that wall. I'm going to drill out the holes to make it into pegboard, and then paint it like a dark color and use that as backdrop for the videos that I make, so that you guys can see and get a better idea for what I'm doing. So I guess I'll let this sit for 15-20 minutes, I think it says on there, and then I'll put another coat on maybe, and I'll show you guys the end result on the next video. Whenever I'm doing a different project, I'll try and show you guys this. So take it easy.